Good morning. Welcome to 2021. My name is Hassani.
I'm Danielle.
And we're the Couples Academy show. It is a new year, guys. It is a new year. I know you're excited because we're excited. Are you excited?
I mean, this is we've been waiting on this. This is a long time coming, getting through 2020. And if you made it through 2020, I know for a fact that you are stronger, you are wiser, you are better, much better than before. So we're excited about 2021 because now we get to take all of what we've gained, all that knowledge, all that wisdom, all that strength, and we could dump it into 2021 to catapult us to a better future. So I'm super excited about 2021, as you could tell.
Absolutely. 2020 was a great year, and I believe that 2021 is going to be fantabulous, phenomenal, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's going to be whatever we choose for it to be. So listen, you got to be purposeful. You got to have a plan. You got to have a vision. And really, that's what we're talking about today, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm really excited about today's topic. I sent out a newsletter to everyone the first of the year, and it was all about vision planning and about the rear view mirror exercise that I've shared with you before, where you actually take some time to review 2020. Again, what did you take from it? What did you learn from it? And then we're going to take what we learned into 2021. So today, we're talking about 10 marriage goals every couple should have for 2021. Join us now.
We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, founders of Couples Academy, a private practice dedicated to saving marriages around the world.
We're not just recognized authorities on relationships. We're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission? To change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships.
This is the Couples Academy show.
Welcome back. So listen, guys, we're talking about having goals for 2021. It's something that we have to do. We say this all the time. It does us no good to just be like, I'm just going to drift and let the world, the sea of life take me where it takes me. What sense does that make? You'll end up shipwrecked.
That's right.
Like Gilligan's Island. Do you want to end up on the island? Nobody knows where you are. Nobody can find you. And that's where you end up? No, there is a plan for your life, but you've got to get with it and get busy. And so it's important for us to plan for our future. Things like how much more time do we want to spend together? Those things matter. You know, setting boundaries around spending, having a goal for purchases and future homes, and all those things matter. And sometimes we kind of just go into the year nilly-willy without knowing exactly what direction we want to go in.
And so this is why when you set up a goal, it's got to be a SMART goal, right? Not a dumb goal, a SMART goal. But I'm not just saying it needs to be, something that you think about. But SMART isn't actually an acronym. The S in SMART stands for specific. The M stands for measurable. The A, action-oriented. The R, realistic, because if it's not a realistic goal, you'll never even pursue it.
Yeah.
And then T, timely. And when your goals have those areas attached to it, those components, then you increase the probability of not only meeting your goal, but crushing that goal.
Yes. So before we get started on these amazing things you could do to start to plan your 2020, I just want to welcome some people and say hello. Good morning, Cheryl. Hey, DC. Good morning, Darlene, LaShonda, and everybody else. Look, I know you guys have been waiting on us to come back with the show in 2021. We have so much in store for you. Just make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And if you did not get the notification to get on this show, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you always know when our shows are going live. Okay? So let's get started with the first tip here. Marriage goal number 1, guys. You want to make sure that you always put more emphasis on your relationship with God than you do on each other. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the Bible tells us that there should be no gods before him, right? And so when your final authority is God, that is huge for a couple, because you know what? When I'm doing wrong, it's really not about me going to Hassani and having to make alms and peace with him necessarily, even though I have to, but really my ultimate judger is God. And so I'm always looking at that. I'm always looking at myself and reflecting on my actions and what I did and what part I played in anything as it relates to how God sees me. And so what does he say? When we have offended our brother or our sister or our spouse, right? Put your gifts down, okay? Go and make peace with them, and then come back and make your gifts to him. So I can't even go to God. If he's final authority in our lives, I can't even go to God until I get things right with you.
Even the Bible says that your prayers won't even be answered if you're not in good relationship with your spouse. And so it's important that this is the threefold covenant, right? So just as you have a responsibility to God, you have a responsibility to each other. In this triangle, when it's intact, everything begins to work. And it kind of transitions us into the second goal, and that is becoming spiritually, and I'll add, emotionally mature.
Yes.
You know, the reality is most couples who are in conflict and in crisis and have this back and forth tit for tat, you know, it's almost like we're I don't know, what is that game where we have the ropes and we're kind of pulling?
Tug of war.
Tug of war, right? There's a constant tug of war. And sometimes we allow pettiness, ego, pride, you know, just being childish. A lot of times couples are like two little kids in a sandbox, and they're just fighting over ridiculous things. And interestingly enough, when you look at the number of divorces that take place, a lot of times it's not the big issues, it's the little things, the annoyances, the little pebble in the shoe that is hard, like when you're walking on it, it's just annoying.
Yeah.
You just feel like taking the shoes off altogether, and people are throwing away their relationships altogether because they haven't matured emotionally and spiritually. So it's something to not just say that you're going to do, but something that you're actually going to do. And in order to mature both spiritually and emotionally, you need time by yourself to work on yourself, to become the best version of yourself. So whether that's for you reading your Bible, whether that's for you reading a devotional, whether that's reading a self-help book, digging into the problem areas that you have and making a commitment to become your best self. Yeah. These type of things really enhance your ability to show up in your relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see so many people are coming on. Welcome to the show. Again, we're talking about 10 marriage goals every couple should have for 2021. So hopefully you have your pen and paper out. If you did not already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you always get notified when we come on every single morning, okay? So marriage goal number 3 is financial stability. So having a financial plan in your marriage, it literally helps you to not only plan for your future, but actually live within your means. Because what good is it to live beyond your means and everything is a stretch and you're running out, you're always on empty, you're always running out of sand, you're always running out of time, you know? And so having a collected goal together where we plan together. See, many couples, everything is split. Everything is divided. And I don't get to ask what's in your backyard, and you don't get to ask what's in mine. As long as I contribute my little bit to the bills and the bills are paid, that's it. But that's not really a method for growth. If you really want to grow, then you need to actually come together with your finances. And I'm not saying that you can't have your own spending money. I'm not saying that you can't have your own bank account, not at all. But we need to be aware of what we both have, and we also have to have a collected goal for the future.
And you know, I think more often than not, the more we work with couples, the more we realize how many of them actually live separate lives financially. Like recently we did an intensive, and a couple's been married for 20 years, and they do not know how much each other makes. In matter of fact, the only way they had an inkling is because they had to purchase a home together.
Wow.
So the method of purchasing a home required them to be transparent when it came to their finances, but right thereafter, they went back to their separate ways and lived in their financial silos. And what happens is, it's not like you can't live life and enjoy life and have good things, but there's something about when two people come together, they're maximizing their ability of what they can do. So that's important. All right, the next thing you got to do, right? The next goal is to serve one another. Now, years ago, in my early 20s, I used to work in restaurants all the time, and we were servers. And what we had to do is we had to meet the need of the client. We had to anticipate the need of the client. And so I said, you know, in order for us to take our relationship to the next level, because there was a point where we were done, divorces on the table, things were just going haywire. I said, how is it that I could be successful in the world, but struggle and be a failure in my own marriage? So I took that element of serving others and began to serve my wife. So one of the questions that we would ask each other is, how can I serve you, right? If you understand the 5 love languages, one of the love languages is serving your spouse, right? And I think it's critically important because a lot of times we feel taken advantage of. Here you are, you're showing up for everyone else, you're accommodating, you go above and beyond the call of duty for all other people. But when it comes to me, you give me the scraps. You don't give me the time of day. So bringing service into your relationship will significantly heighten it in 2021.
Very good. You ended that so quick, I wasn't ready for you. Well, let's go to marriage goal number 5, guys, and that is improve your health, right? What a powerful goal to have together for Hassani and I to say, and you actually put that out there at the end of the year, that all of you are to hold him accountable to his goals, which I don't think you put out there, but period. And we need that sometimes. And we each other can be our accountability partners. And think about this, 2020, we had COVID come upon us and we were not ready for it at all. We did not know that it was off the radar, right? I think it was sometime around March that we all were like, okay, this is a reality, right? And all over the news, it was just like people with pre-existing conditions or have to really worry if you're healthy or if you're young. I know they're still figuring it out. But the point is be ready, right? Like we should take the time this year, 2021, to get in our best health.
Yes.
Because we know now more than ever how important it is to be healthy. Folks are not here today, guys, because COVID came and they were not in good health and it took them out of here. So let's do our best to come together as a couple and work on our health. And the one beautiful thing is that, as a result of COVID, we've actually had a lot more time to do things. We've always said, many people say, oh, I wish I had time to go to the gym. Well, when everything shut down, you had nothing else to do but walk the neighborhood, exercise, run, do some squats, whatever you can do in your home. It's the time to do it.
It's the time, guys. It's the time. We're talking about the top 10 marriage goals. We went down 5. We got 5 more to go. But before we go to the next 5, we want to go to a quick commercial break. Listen, stay tuned. We've got a lot happening in 2021 that we want you to be a part of. Stay tuned.
So I found Danielle and Hassani on YouTube. I was at rock bottom at the time and was just seeking for anything uplifting. And so it started off as listening to some motivational videos or pick me up testimonials. I landed on their YouTube page and listened to a video where they were talking about infidelity. And just listening to Danielle was absolutely inspiring. At the time, she was speaking directly to a source of pain that no one else would have been able to reach, at least for me, unless they experienced it themselves. And I'm a licensed professional myself, so I do find myself being a skeptic and I tend to overanalyze therapists, but Danielle was authentic and so fitting for me, and she was exactly what I needed at the time. I know for sure that I didn't find that YouTube video on accident. Danielle has been my therapist since May of this year, so May 2020. I meet with her religiously, and in 7 months, she not only helped me get out of the gutter that I found myself in, but she just gave me so many tools to navigate through my journey in a healthy and a very effective way. Danielle is intentional about everything that she does. She's not your cookie cutter therapist that tells you what you want to hear. She gives you homework assignments. She sets tangible goals. And most importantly, she challenges you. I'm on a quest to reinvent myself and to try to live a purposeful life. So Danielle gives me endless gems. that honestly, in my opinion, cannot be bought. So this is more than a testimonial for me. For me, it's reality. I literally have the best therapist in Atlanta, and I'm so thankful for her. Thank you, Danielle, for all that you do.
Welcome back, everyone. Again, we're talking about 10 marriage goals every couple should have for 2021. And we want to hear from you. What are some of your marriage goals? I know you thought about it because I know you got the newsletter. I know you are thinking about what is my future going to look like with this man or this woman on my shoulder. So drop some comments in the chat. We want to know, what are some of your 2021 goals, right? So while we do that, we're going to go over to goal number 6, which is keep your relationship fun. Now, let me just tell you guys, I will never forget the year that our theme, because we talk about the one word theme, we share this with our client, that you can actually say one word and that's your focus for the entire year. Well, our theme was fun. And it wasn't like every day we woke up, I've got to have fun, like robots.
Well, that doesn't sound like much fun.
That doesn't sound like much fun. If I gotta have fun, I gotta be fun, I gotta have fun. No, but we made the decision that this year that we're speaking of was going to be a fun year, and if fun opportunities came, we did the most amazing things. We had the most fun with our vacations and with our friends and connecting, and it just came to us because we made the decision to have fun. And so it's really important for us as couples to have fun together because it actually bonds us and keeps us connected. We often drift apart when we get married because of all the other obstacles, you know? We have our children, we have jobs, responsibilities, families, and other things that distract us from one another. And so oftentimes by the time we come home, we're on empty. Our tank is empty and we look empty, laid up on the couch like we don't want to be bothered. And we've got to make an effort and make it important to have fun together.
You know why that's important? Because many of you who are miserable, you're having fun. You're just having fun with other people. And you give the world your best.
Yeah,
you give them your energy. You give them your excitement. You give them great stories, great conversation. You give them all of your pizzazz, and then you mute yourself, right? You decimate yourself when you enter into that household and it's just like, hey, what's good with you? How was work? Work was work. Like there's just nothing. There's a deadness that has taken place in the relationship. And it's time to revive it when you can just sit down with your spouse in front of the fireplace, in front of the TV, and just talk and just laugh and just giggle and chuckle and be playful. Like that element is so critically important. There's so many people, you know, who have been impacted by the pandemic and they're still waiting for the world to open up, they're still waiting for permission to begin to go back, what they call to normal, to have some type of fun.
Break it down. They're still waiting for permission to do what? To live.
To live life.
Is it safe? Can we like, come on, bring that.
I'm saying, and it's, you know, they're saying, well, you know, I'm not sure about 2021. They're saying it may not be till spring. It may not be till the summer, the fall, the winter. I don't know. And so we're just going to wait and see. No, Joker, you ain't waiting for nothing. This is the year to grab, you know, this year by its horns and you make it what you want it to be.
Absolutely.
If you're cramped in a 1,000 square foot apartment, figure out how to make that thing fun.
Absolutely.
If you can walk around the park and just breathe in the fresh air, figure out how to make that thing fun. Figure something out, because I'm gonna tell you something. Fun is not gonna knock on your door and say, hey, I'm here. You gotta make that thing happen. And you wanna make it happen with your spouse.
And neither is life. Life is not gonna be like, I'm here. Can we go live life now? We have got to recognize, people keep calling it the new norm. Ain't nothing new about it anymore. It's just norm, okay? So let's just get with the norm and find your normal in your home, in your circles, in your community, and be safe while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
Did everybody forget what they say? Well, now they're saying 12 feet distance, whatever it is, right? But
wow.
Many people have barricaded themselves behind doors and have just become frozen and stuck. And there are so many things that you could do. Here we are talking to you from our basement right now. So there are many things.
This is the Couples Academy World International Headquarters.
Right. But here we are talking to you in your living room, in your office, in your space, and connecting, communicating. Stop thinking that because of what's going on in the world, number one, that there's no more God on the throne who is running it all and knows everything from the beginning to the end. And number two, stop thinking that you can't live your life and do. Put your mask on, put some hand sanitizer on, and go outside and walk around and let the sun hit you, as you said.
There it is.
Get some vitamin D, get inspired, get an idea, get some energy, get up early, pray, get an idea, and do something, y'all, because life has not ended with COVID. It's just we have to pivot. Everybody been using that word, pivot. Okay, what's your pivot? Figure it out.
You got to get used to different. And guess what? It's never going to go back to the way it was. And all we do, first of all, we struggle and complain about our present situation, and then things get worse, and then we want things to go back to the good old days. Well, when was it good for you? Like, you were complaining while you were going through it. Then you talk about how great it was when you're out of it. So you're never satisfied. Listen, all you need to do is figure out, how do I maximize this day with myself, with my spouse, with my children? Because tomorrow's not promised. So I might as well make the most out of today.
And make it fun.
There it is. Fun, guys. Fun. All right. Goal number 7. This is important if you're a couple. You should seek a marriage mentor, and you should seek to be a mentor to someone else. So this is the deal. We talk about the law of 33. According to the law of 33, it says that 33% of the people in your life should be lower than you, because those are the ones that you are inspiring. They're looking up at you saying, man, I wish we could be, I wish we could do, I wish we could have. And it's your job to give them a little bit of what you've got, right? Because the rule is, who do you listen to? You listen to people who have what you want and have been where you are. And there's some people who are starting out in their relationship or worse off in their relationship, and you give a sense of hope and inspiration to them. So 33% people lower than you, you're being a mentor to them. 33% of the people in your life should be your positive reinforcing friends. That means you want to surround yourself with people who are in healthy relationships, right? As they say, misery loves company. And sometimes when we're miserable, we want other people to feed into our misery and to understand our misery. And no, you need to break out of that. You want people who are on a good trajectory in life, who have a healthy relationship, who will keep you on track with your relationship. But then the other 33% of the people in your life should be quantum leaps above and beyond where you are. And that's where you want to find your marriage mentor. Who can you glean from? Who has that thing? Who has that relational dynamic that you wish you had in your relationship? Well, whoever it is, seek them out, become familiar with them, get around them, glean from them so that it can enhance your relationship. Every couple should have a marriage mentor. And if you don't, you need to find one. Now, some marriage mentors you may have a relationship with, some marriage mentors you may never not, but you know them from a distance, but you're studying them, right? Because everybody's always on stage, whether they realize it or not. People are watching you. So you've got to have something that you're striving for, that you're reaching for in your marriage, because you see it in somebody else.
We have a comment here. It says, one major goal, since my husband has issues with doing it, is communication. I tell him even if he does stuff to hurt me, it's okay to talk about it. He tells me, how dare I speak to you about my pain when I've caused you so much hurt? And I tell him, no matter what is on your mind, it's important that you communicate with me. I want to know what he's feeling. Is that wrong to me to want to communicate about everything, even the smallest things? I tell him everything. I think that's a noble goal, communication. I think it's even a bigger goal to actually figure out a way to get him on board and feeling safe about communication, because oftentimes when someone has that much of a push and a struggle against something like that, it's because they are protecting hidden, unearthed pain, right? And so that's the big work, right? It's very difficult to be communicating when the communication is one-sided. If he's not talking, then you're kind of talking to yourself or talking to a wall. The big goal is to get him to be willing to communicate, and that might require some digging. So reach out to us. We can certainly help you with that.
As we've always said, communication is the number one most important ingredient in a relationship, because once you two have that as a foundation, you're able to overcome issues and break through struggles that you've had that have lasted for a tremendous amount of time. So let's dig in deep this year with communication as a goal for each and every one of us.
Yes. Marriage goal number 8, think long term, right? And this goes back to kind of opening up your world to one another. You want to have a long-term vision and a long-term goal and plan, right? What does it look like when the kids leave? What are we planning on doing? That's a big one right there, right? When the kids leave, woo! We are hiding. Because I've heard now this generation, whatever you call them, they're not the millennials. They're the, what is this generation? Whatever this generation is called, these jokers come back home.
Those kids, those jokers.
Okay? Those jokers come back home and live with you your whole life. Okay? So it's Little House on the Prairie, this generation. I don't know how it happened. But so when we get to that moment, we're going to hit the road. But what is your long-term vision and goal for your marriage, right? Financial, physical, health, mental, emotional. What are you looking forward to? That's something that you really need to begin to map out.
Absolutely. So critically important. Listen, this next one, huge, guys. I want you to pause and really think about this. This is marriage goal number 9, and that's creating an emergency plan. Now, we can look at this a number of different ways. So, of course, financially, we've been taught that you should have 3 to 6 months of emergency funds. I think people really began to shift more into saving last year, 2020, because of the pandemic, because people's jobs, because of financial uncertainty. So I think many of us were very much spenders and consumers. Not to say that we don't anymore, but I think people started to put some things away for a rainy day, because when the rainy day comes, if you're prepared for it, it doesn't feel like there's a whole bunch of rain because you're prepared. But beyond the finances, having an emergency plan, think about it. I don't know about you, but in different parts of the country, electricity went out. I know people who were literally sitting in the dark, food rotting in their homes, in freezing cold environments because they didn't have a generator, right? That is something that you can do to plan for an emergency, because when everything's gone, if you're the one who can at least see, you're the one who can at least generate, have your food temperatured in your refrigerator or in your freezer. If you can do some of the basic things because you're preparing for them, then you're in an advantageous position. So getting flashlights, right? Preparing for floods, whatever the case may be, you should always anticipate that something will happen that you did not expect. And the more prepared you are as a family, the better. So it's not just about what you do, it's about sitting down with your family and really having conversations. Remember, like years ago when we were kids, or even, they would have drills in school, like if there was a war that broke out, this is what you do. If you're in your home, you got to go in the closet or jump in a tub or go in the basement, or these secret areas that would keep you safe, because different parts of the world deal with different things. So that type of preparation, I think we should just continue to have as a major ingredient in our households.
Absolutely. Marriage goal number 10.
This is it.
Commit to evaluating 2021 goals, right? So now that you've got all these great tips on how to start to curate a vision and a plan and goals for your marriage, you're going to set out to do them. You're going to have a strong year. And you know what? I heard a really powerful message the other day, and they were talking about, the maximizing the mundane things, right? Because we set out with these big goals, right? We're going to raise $1 million. I don't know, whatever the big goal is going to be, right? I'm going to lose 100 pounds. How about that? That's a big one that you have quite often, right? And then you don't realize that the goal has to be broken down into fractions, right? There's not one goal that you can accomplish in one bite, in one swallow as a whole. Every goal has to be broken down. And so those are the things that become mundane. And every day you have to get up committed to your goals with a focus, driven to accomplish something, so that by the time you get to the end of the road, to the finish line, you can look back and say, wow, this is what I did. Okay, this is what I learned. Hassani and I love to sit down and do what we call the rear view mirror exercise. And it's just that. It's okay, here's what we set out to do this year. And you know what? Oftentimes there are curves, and God throws lots of curveballs, doesn't he? Like you'll be like, wait a minute, God, why are you telling me to go over here when I'm way over here? But then there's that whole obedience thing. So there's got to be some flexibility in your goals, right? But at the end of the road, when you reflect and when you review, did you do what you said that you were going to do? There it is. And if you missed it, wherever you dropped the ball, wherever you messed up, wherever you heard wrong, wherever you went wrong, right? Did you learn from it? Did you grow from it? And what can you take from that into the next year. And that's what we're calling you to do with number 10, is to agree to come together, link arms with your spouse and say, okay, these are the goals. First of all, sit down and write them out. Sit down and write them out. And then say, okay, this is what we're committed to doing. I commit to hold you accountable. Will you commit to hold me accountable to these goals? If I start to feel like I'm slipping, will you pull my collar and let me know? Check me on it, because I really want to meet these goals. And then when we get to the end of the road, we're going to look back and say, what did we do? Did we do what we say we were going to do? How did we do? And what did we learn from it? And that sets you out for a powerful next year. And that's how you do it, guys. Every year you do this, year after year, and you will experience tremendous growth in your life.
Guys, I hope that this was helpful. A couple comments that came in. Ken Burkett says, awesome topic. We appreciate you. Mylene says, watching from Manila in the Philippines. Love it. Then Kia says, always be in a state of learning and growing. That's exactly what we're talking about. Nicole says, planning beyond money. Dope. Yes. That's right. It is dope. You got to have a plan beyond the money. And then we have someone who says, well, we're in South Africa. Do you do counseling in South Africa? How can we reach out to you? Absolutely. We have clients all over the world. Simply go to our website. You can set up a discovery call. Go to couplesacademy.org, set up a discovery call. It allows for international calling, and we would love to serve you. We also have representatives now on the continent of Africa that are Couples Academy certified coaches, and so we're excited about that. Listen, guys, I want to leave you. We're heading to the end of our show, but we're excited because in 2021, we have an amazing program called the Better Marriage Club. It is an opportunity for you to get connected with each other and with us on a deeper level. It is free for you to join. Watch this quick commercial and we'll be right back. Sign up today for the Better Marriage Club and receive exclusive access to the private Facebook group to get your questions answered and your problems solved. Access to our marriage library of live seminars. Watch the Couples Academy Daily Show. Call the help hotline for laser coaching. Get our weekly action guides and receive a private one-on-one call with one of our marriage coaches. To join the Better Marriage Club, simply text MARRIAGE to 973-490-4668. Join today. Your marriage deserves it. That's right, guys, the Better Marriage Club. There's no better time to take your relationship to a better place than by joining the Better Marriage Club.
Free?
It's free. All you have to do is text marriage, because we love free, right?
Yes, we love free.
All you have to do is text marriage to 973-490-4668. And there's a lot in that program. We're excited to be offering it to you. And we want you to share it with other people. Listen, tell your couples, tell your friends, tell your family, your colleagues to join the Better Marriage Club.
If you want a better marriage.
If you want a better marriage.
If you don't want a better marriage, then pass it along to the person that does want
there it is.
A better marriage. I know I want a better marriage this year, next year, and all the years to come.
There it is.
And that only happens through powerful connection and mentorship. So join, guys.
All right, guys, we love you. Hope you had a great time today. Tune in tomorrow for another great episode. Talk to you soon.
Bye.